Maya had always been a dog person. Growing up, her family had golden retrievers, and she could never understand why people got so attached to cats. They seemed cold, distant, and way too independent for her liking. She preferred animals that showed obvious affection, wagged their tails, and came running when you called their name. Living in a small downtown apartment on the third floor, Maya had accepted that pet ownership wasn't in her immediate future anyway. Her lease clearly stated no pets allowed, and her landlord was known for being strict about rules. Plus, between her demanding job at the marketing firm and trying to save money for a house down payment, she barely had time to take care of herself, let alone another living creature. That Tuesday evening in late October changed everything. The weather had been building up all day, with dark clouds rolling in and the wind picking up strength. Maya had rushed home from work, hoping to beat the storm that the weather app kept warning about. She had just settled in with leftover pizza and was about to start her favorite TV show when the thunder started out at first. It was just distant rumbling, but within minutes, the storm hit with full force. Rain pounded against her windows, and lightning lit up the sky every few seconds. Maya loved storms from the safety of her cozy apartment, so she dimmed the lights and opened the curtains to watch nature's show. That's when she heard it, a small, desperate sound cutting through the noise of the storm. At first, she thought it might be the wind or maybe something rattling on the balcony, but as she listened more carefully, she realized it was crying. Not human crying, but the unmistakable sound of an animal in distress. Maya pressed her face against the sliding door that led to her small balcony. Through the rain and darkness, she could barely make out a small, dark shape huddled in the corner, where her balcony met the building wall. The shape was definitely moving, and the crying sounds were getting more desperate without really thinking it through. Maya grabbed her raincoat and carefully slid open the door. The wind immediately tried to push her back inside, and rain started soaking everything within seconds. But there, pressed against the brick wall and shivering uncontrollably, was the tiniest, most pitiful cat she had ever seen. The little creature was completely soaked through. It's rheumated and sticking to its small body. It looked like it couldn't be more than a few months old, though it was hard to tell in its current state. What broke Maya's heart was how it looked at her with these huge, desperate eyes. As if it knew she was its only hope. Maya didn't hesitate for another second. She scooped up the shivering cat, feeling how light and fragile it was, and rushed back inside. The poor thing was so cold that she could feel it trembling through her coat. She quickly grabbed the softest towel she could find and wrapped the cat up like a tiny burrito, leaving just its head visible. The transformation was immediate and surprising. As soon as Maya sat down on her couch with the bundled cat in her arms, something magical happened. The desperate crying stopped completely, replaced by a sound Maya had never heard before. It started as a quiet rumble, almost like a tiny engine starting up, but within seconds it grew into the loudest, most intense purring she could have imagined. The vibrations were so strong that Maya could feel them through the towel and against her chest. It was like holding a small, furry massage device that someone had turned up to maximum power. The cat pressed its little head against her arm and just kept purring and purring, as if it was trying to thank her with every fiber of its being. Maya found herself laughing despite everything. Here she was, someone who claimed not to like cats, sitting in her no-pets apartment with a soaking wet stray that was purring so loudly her neighbors could probably hear it. The sound was oddly comforting, and she realized she had never experienced anything quite like it. She gently dried the cat's fur, discovering that underneath all that wet, matted hair was actually a beautiful little tabby with the most amazing markings. The cat had distinctive stripes and spots, with white paws that looked like little socks and a white patch on its chest, shaped almost like a heart. After getting the worst of the water off, Maya realized she had nothing appropriate to feed a cat. She rummaged through her kitchen and found some leftover rotisserie chicken from dinner 2 nights ago. She shredded it into small pieces and offered it to her unexpected guest. The cat ate like it hadn't seen food in days, which probably wasn't far from the truth. Between bites, it would look up at Maya and purr even louder. If that was possible, Maya found herself talking to the cat, something she never thought she would do. As the storm continued raging outside, Maya made a comfortable spot on her couch with extra blankets and pillows. She told herself this was just temporary, just until the storm passed and she could figure out what to do. Maybe there was an animal shelter she could call, or perhaps she could put up flyers around the neighborhood to see if anyone was missing a cat. But as she sat there with this tiny creature, curled up against her side, purring so contentedly that it seemed to fill the entire room with warmth, Maya started having doubts about her plan. For the first time in her life, she was experiencing what cat people had been trying to explain to her for years. This wasn't just an animal seeking shelter. This was a connection she had never expected to feel. The cat seemed to sense that it was safe now. Its purring settled into a steady, rhythmic sound that was surprisingly soothing. Maya found herself relaxing in a way she hadn't in months. The stress of work, the worry about finances, the loneliness of living alone in a big city, all of it seemed to fade into the background as she listened to this simple, pure expression of contentment. That night, Maya fell asleep on the couch, with the cat still purring against her side. When she woke up the next morning, the storm had passed, the sun was shining through her windows, and the cat was still there, still purring, looking at her with those same trusting eyes. Maya knew her life had just changed completely, and for the first time, she wasn't worried about breaking the rules. The first week with Luna, as Maya had decided to call her, was nothing like what she expected. Maya had always imagined cats as these mysterious creatures that came and went as they pleased, barely acknowledging their humans except when they wanted food. But Luna was completely different. Every single morning, Maya would wake up to the same gentle routine. Instead of her usual jarring alarm clock, she would slowly become aware of a warm, soft presence pressing against her side. Luna had somehow figured out Maya's sleep schedule within just a few days and had appointed herself as the world's most effective natural alarm clock. The little cat would start by positioning herself right against Maya's ribs, where she could feel the rise and fall of her breathing. Then came the purring. But this wasn't just any purring Maya had ever heard other cats make when she visited friends. This was something completely different, something that seemed to come from deep within Luna's entire body. The sound would start as a barely audible hum, so soft that Maya often thought she was dreaming at first, but within seconds, it would build into this incredible vibration that seemed to travel through the mattress, through Maya's body, and somehow right into her bones. It was like having a tiny, living massage machine that knew exactly how to wake her up gently and peacefully. Maya found herself looking forward to these mornings in a way she never had before. Her old routine had been hitting the snooze button 3 times, dragging herself out of bed feeling groggy, and rushing around trying to get ready for work. Now, she would lie there for those precious few minutes, feeling Luna's warmth against her side and listening to that incredible sound. What surprised Maya most was how specific Luna was about their contact. If Maya rolled over in her sleep and broke the connection, Luna would carefully reposition herself until they were touching again. If Maya sat up too quickly, Luna would give her this look that clearly said, "Hey, we weren't finished yet," and would press against her leg or arm until the purring session was complete. The evening routine developed just as naturally. Maya would come home from work, usually feeling drained and stressed from dealing with difficult clients and impossible deadlines. She would barely get her shoes off before Luna would appear, winding around her legs and looking up at her with those expressive eyes. Without fail, Maya would end up on the couch with Luna pressed against her side, and that magical purring would start again. But the evening purrs were different from the morning ones. These were deeper, more intense. Almost like Luna was trying to pull all the stress and tension right out of Maya's body. Maya's roommate Jessica was fascinated by this behavior. She had grown up with cats and had never seen anything quite like what Luna did. Most cats purr when they're happy or want attention, but Luna's purring seemed to serve a completely different purpose. It was purposeful, almost medicinal. "I swear, "That cat is like your personal therapist," Jessica would joke, watching Maya transform from stressed and frazzled to completely relaxed. Within minutes of Luna's arrival, "Look at your face right now. You look like someone just gave you a spa treatment," and Jessica wasn't wrong. Maya had started noticing changes in herself that went beyond just feeling relaxed. Her sleep had improved dramatically. She used to toss and turn for hours, her mind racing with work problems and random worries. Now, with Luna curled up against her, purring steadily, Maya would drift off to sleep within minutes and stay asleep all night. Her stress levels at work seemed more manageable too. When she would start feeling overwhelmed during the day, she would find herself thinking about Luna's purring, almost like she could still feel those soothing vibrations. It became her mental escape, her way of staying centered. When everything around her felt chaotic, the physical contact aspect of their relationship was something Maya had never experienced with any animal before. Luna wasn't content to just be near Maya. She needed to be touching her. Whether Maya was working on her laptop, watching TV, or even doing yoga in the living room, Luna would find a way to maintain some kind of physical connection. When Maya tried to work from home, Luna would drape herself across Maya's lap, purring so loudly that Maya sometimes had to mute herself during video calls. When Maya did yoga, Luna would position herself so that she was touching Maya's leg or arm during poses, purring contentedly as if she was participating in the relaxation session. Maya started researching cat behavior online, trying to understand what made Luna so different. She learned that cats don't just purr when they're happy. They also purr when they're injured or stressed, because the vibrations actually help heal their bodies and calm their nervous systems. But she couldn't find anything that explained Luna's intense need for constant physical contact or the almost therapeutic quality of her purring. The turning point came about a month into their relationship. Maya had been having trouble sleeping because of a big presentation at work. She was lying in bed, mind racing, when Luna appeared and pressed herself against Maya's chest, right over her heart. The purring that followed was unlike anything Maya had experienced before. It was so deep and rhythmic that it seemed to sync up with Maya's heartbeat. Within minutes, Maya felt her breathing slow down, her muscles relax, and her anxious thoughts fade away. She fell into the deepest, most peaceful sleep she'd had in months. The next morning, Maya realized something profound had happened. Luna wasn't just a pet who happened to purr a lot. She was actively trying to take care of Maya, to heal whatever stress or anxiety she was carrying. It was like living with a tiny, furry healer who knew exactly what Maya needed before Maya knew it herself. From that day forward, Maya stopped thinking of their daily routines as cute pet behavior and started recognizing them for what they really were, a form of communication, a way of caring for each other that went beyond anything she had ever experienced. With another living being, Maya had rescued Luna from that storm, but somehow, Luna was the one doing all the rescuing. Maya thought she had figured out Luna's purring patterns until the day her world fell apart. It was a Thursday afternoon when she got the phone call that her relationship of 3 years was over. David had called her at work, his voice distant and cold, to tell her he was moving out that weekend and didn't want to work things out. Maya somehow managed to finish her workday without breaking down completely. But the moment she walked through her apartment door, the tears started flowing. She collapsed onto her couch and just let everything out. All the emotion she had been holding back during that awful phone call. All the frustration for months of feeling like something was wrong. In her relationship, all of it came pouring out at once. Through her tears, Maya felt Luna jump onto the couch. But instead of her usual routine of settling against Maya's side, Luna did something completely different. The little cat climbed right onto Maya's chest, positioning herself directly over Maya's heart, and looked straight into her eyes with an expression Maya had never seen before. It was like Luna could see right into Maya's soul and understood exactly what was happening. Without any hesitation, Luna pressed her small body down against Maya's chest and began purring. But this wasn't the gentle morning purr or even the relaxing evening purr Maya had gotten used to. This was something entirely new, The vibrations were so intense that Maya could feel them through her entire chest cavity. It was like Luna had turned herself into some kind of healing machine, sending these powerful waves of comfort directly into Maya's broken heart. The purring was steady, rhythmic, and so strong that it seemed to match Maya's breathing and gradually slow it down. From the panicked gasps of crying to something deeper and calmer, Maya wrapped her arms around Luna, holding her close while the tears continued to fall. But something amazing was happening. With each breath, with each powerful vibration from Luna's purring, Maya felt some of the sharp pain in her chest beginning to soften. It was like Luna was literally purring the hurt away, replacing it with something warm and comforting. They stayed like that for over an hour. Luna never moved, never got uncomfortable, never stopped purring. She just lay there on Maya's chest, this tiny creature somehow carrying the weight of Maya's sadness and transforming it into something bearable. When Maya finally stopped crying, she realized she felt different than she expected. Heartbreak usually left her feeling empty and hollow, but instead she felt held, supported, loved in a way she had never experienced before. Luna was still purring against her chest, and Maya could swear she felt the vibrations reaching places inside her that she didn't even know existed. That night, curiosity got the better of Maya. She grabbed her laptop and started researching everything she could find about cat purring. What she discovered completely changed how she understood her relationship with Luna. Scientists have found that cats purr at frequencies between 20 and 50 Hz, which are the exact frequencies that medical professionals use to help heal broken bones, reduce pain, and lower blood pressure. Some researchers believe that cats had evolved to use purring not just for communication, but as a form of self-healing and, incredibly, as a way to heal their humans too. Maya reads study after study about how cat purring could reduce stress, hormones, boost immune systems, and even help heal soft tissue injuries. There were stories of therapy cats in hospitals whose purring helped patients recover faster from surgery and trauma. Some researchers called it purr therapy and were studying whether the vibrations could be used as an alternative form of medicine. But what really caught Maya's attention were the stories from other cat owners who described experiences similar to what she was having with Luna. Cats who seemed to know exactly when their humans needed comfort, who would position themselves on specific parts of their owners' bodies and purr with unusual intensity during times of illness, stress, or emotional pain. One story particularly stood out to Maya. A woman wrote about her cat who would lie on her chest and purr whenever she had anxiety attacks, and how the vibrations would calm her heart rate and breathing within minutes. Another person described how their cat seemed to know when they were getting sick and would purr against whatever part of their body was hurting. Maya realized that Luna wasn't just an unusually affectionate cat. She was somehow tuned into Maya's emotional and physical state in a way that went beyond normal pet behavior. The positioning wasn't random. Luna always placed herself exactly where Maya needed the healing vibrations most. Over the following weeks, Maya started paying closer attention to Luna's behavior. When Maya had a headache, Luna would purr against her temples. When Maya's back was sore from sitting at her desk all day, Luna would position herself against the exact spot that hurt. When Maya was anxious about a work presentation, Luna would purr against her chest until Maya's heart rate slowed down. It was like living with a tiny, furry doctor who could diagnose problems Maya didn't even know she had and treat them with the most natural medicine in the world. The breakup that had seemed so devastating began to feel like it had happened for a reason. Maya had needed to be alone, needed to discover this incredible healing relationship with Luna. Maya started telling her friends and coworkers about Luna's abilities. Though she was careful about how she explained it, she didn't want people to think she was being overly dramatic or imagining things. But the evidence was clear. Her stress levels were lower. She was sleeping better. Her blood pressure had improved at her last doctor's visit, and she felt more emotionally balanced than she had in years. Her sister visited one weekend and got to witness Luna's healing powers firsthand. Maya's sister had been dealing with chronic back pain and was feeling particularly uncomfortable that day. Without any prompting, Luna jumped onto the couch and positioned herself right against the spot where Maya's sister was hurting and began her intense purring. Within 20 minutes, Maya's sister was amazed to find that her pain had significantly decreased. She couldn't stop talking about how she could actually feel the vibrations working on her muscles, loosening the tension she had been carrying for months. That's when Maya realized that Luna's gift wasn't just for her. This little cat had some kind of natural ability to sense where healing was needed, and to provide it through her purring. Maya began to understand that she hadn't just rescued a stray cat from a storm. She had somehow found, or been found by, a natural healer who happened to have for paws and the loudest, most therapeutic purr in the world. Maya started thinking of Luna not as her pet, but as her partner in a relationship that was unlike anything she had ever experienced with another human being. This was pure, unconditional love combined with an almost supernatural ability to provide exactly what Maya needed, exactly when she needed it. 6 months after Luna had entered her life, Maya was facing the worst period of stress she had ever experienced. The marketing agency where she worked had taken on 3 major clients at once, and Maya found herself working 12-hour days. Coming home exhausted and mentally drained, her boss was demanding impossible deadlines. Clients were constantly changing their minds about campaigns, and Maya was starting to feel like she was drowning in responsibilities. The old Maya would have probably had a breakdown by now. She remembered how she used to handle stress before Luna came along: sleepless nights, anxiety attacks, calling in sick because she just couldn't face another day. But now, something was different. No matter how terrible her day had been, she knew that relief was waiting for her at home. Every single evening, the routine was exactly the same, and Maya had come to depend on it like nothing else in her life. She would drag herself up the 3 flights of stairs to her apartment, fumble with her keys while feeling like she could barely stand up, and push open the door. And there Luna would be, sitting by the entrance like she had been waiting all day just for this moment. Luna seemed to have an internal clock that was perfectly synchronized with Maya's work schedule. Even on days when Maya came home early or late, Luna would appear within seconds of the door opening. The little cat had developed this habit of immediately pressing against Maya's leg, not demanding attention like a typical pet might, but offering something much more valuable: immediate stress relief. Maya would kick off her work shoes, and Luna would follow her to the couch like a tiny therapist ready for their daily session. The moment Maya sat down, Luna would position herself against Maya's side, and that incredible purring would begin. But Maya had started to notice that the intensity of Luna's purring seemed to match exactly how stressed Maya was feeling on really bad days. When Maya came home feeling like her head might explode from pressure, Luna's purring would be so powerful that Maya could feel it in her teeth. It was like Luna could somehow measure Maya's stress levels and adjust her healing accordingly. The worse Maya felt, the harder Luna worked to fix it. The transformation that happened during these evening sessions was something Maya had tried to explain to friends, but she could never quite find the right words. It wasn't just relaxation. It was like Luna was pulling all the negative energy right out of Maya's body and replacing it with something clean and peaceful. Maya would sit there with her eyes closed, feeling Luna's warm body against her ribs, listening to that steady, rhythmic purring, and it was like watching her entire day dissolve away. The angry email from her boss, the impossible client demands, the panic she had felt about missing deadlines, all of it would just melt away under Luna's healing vibrations. Her co-workers started commenting on how different she seemed. Maya's friend Rachel, who worked in the same office, pulled her aside one day and said, "I don't know what you're doing differently, but you need to teach me. Everyone else is falling apart with this workload, but you seem so calm and centered. What's your secret?" Maya tried to explain about Luna, but she could tell Rachel thought she was exaggerating. How do you tell someone that your cat is essentially providing you with daily therapy sessions that are more effective than anything a human therapist had ever done for you? The proof came when Maya had to work late one evening and didn't get home until almost midnight. She was so exhausted she could barely think straight. and she had to be back at the office early the next morning to present a campaign to one of their most demanding clients. Maya was convinced she was going to mess up the presentation because her brain felt like it was made of cotton. Luna was waiting for her as always. But this time the purring session was different. Luna positioned herself not just against Maya's side, but somehow managed to drape herself across Maya's chest and shoulders, purring with an intensity Maya had never experienced before. It felt like Luna was trying to cover as much of Maya's body as possible with healing vibrations. Maya fell asleep right there on the couch with Luna purring against her. When she woke up the next morning, she felt completely refreshed and clear-headed. The presentation went perfectly, and her boss actually complimented her on how composed and confident she seemed. That's when Maya realized that Luna's purring wasn't just helping her relax. After stressful days, it was actually healing her body and mind in ways that seemed almost magical. Maya started researching more about the physical effects of cat purring and discovered that the vibrations could actually help reset the nervous system, reduce cortisol levels, and improve cognitive function. Maya began scheduling her entire life around these daily healing sessions with Luna. She would rush home from work not because she was avoiding her responsibilities, but because she knew that spending time with Luna would actually make her more effective and capable of handling whatever challenges came next. Her doctor noticed the changes too. During Maya's annual checkup, her blood pressure was the best it had ever been. Her resting heart rate had improved, and she told her doctor that she had been sleeping better and feeling less anxious than she had in years. When her doctor asked what she had been doing differently, Maya mentioned Luna's therapeutic purring. To Maya's surprise, her doctor didn't dismiss it at all. She explained that animal-assisted therapy was becoming more common, and that there was real science behind the healing effects of cat purring. She said that what Maya was experiencing was probably similar to what patients experienced during sound therapy or vibration healing treatments. Maya's sister started joking that Luna was her unpaid therapist, but Maya knew it was more than that. Luna had become her anchor, her way of staying grounded and healthy in a world that seemed designed to create stress and anxiety. The daily purring sessions had become as essential to Maya's well-being as eating or sleeping. The most amazing part was that Luna never seemed to get tired of providing this service. Other cats might get bored or distracted, but Luna approached their evening routine with the dedication of a professional healer. She would purr for as long as Maya needed, whether that was 15 minutes on a good day or over an hour when Maya was dealing with particularly difficult challenges. Maya realized that she had stumbled into the most perfect relationship of her life, one where she felt completely understood, unconditionally supported, and actively healed every single day. Luna wasn't just her pet, she was her partner in staying healthy and happy, no matter what life threw at them. 2 years had passed since that stormy night when Luna first appeared on Maya's balcony, and their relationship had evolved into something that Maya could never have imagined possible. Between a human and an animal, what had started as a simple rescue had become the most meaningful connection in Maya's entire life. Maya had learned to read Luna's different types of purrs like a secret language that only the two of them understood. There was the gentle morning purr that gradually increased in volume until Maya woke up, never startling, always perfectly timed to ease her out of sleep at exactly the right moment. This purr felt like a warm hug, soft and comforting, designed to start each day with love. Then there was the greeting purr that happened every evening when Maya came home from work. This one was excited and welcoming, full of joy that seemed to say, "You're finally here. I've been waiting all day for this." Luna would wind around Maya's legs while producing this happy sound, and Maya could feel all the stress of her workday already beginning to melt away. But it was the healing purr that still amazed Maya the most. This was the deep, powerful vibration that Luna would produce when she sensed that Maya was upset, sick, or emotionally struggling. This purr seemed to come from somewhere deeper than Luna's chest. It felt like it originated from her entire being and was focused with laser precision on whatever Maya needed most. Maya had become so attuned to these different purrs that she could predict Luna's behavior before it happened. If Maya woke up feeling anxious about a big meeting, she knew Luna would position herself against Maya's chest and produce the calming purr. That would slow her heart rate and clear her mind. If Maya came home with a headache, Luna would somehow know to purr against her temples. If Maya was feeling sad or lonely, Luna would create that all-encompassing healing purr that seemed to wrap around Maya's entire body. What constantly amazed Maya was Luna's intuitive understanding of timing. Luna never interrupted important phone calls or video meetings, even when Maya was working from home. But the moment Maya hung up from a stressful conversation, Luna would appear as if she had been listening the entire time and knew exactly when her healing services were needed. Maya's friends had stopped being surprised by Luna's behavior and had started specifically asking about her when they visited. Maya's friend Kelly, who had always been skeptical about the healing power of pets, became a believer after experiencing one of Luna's sessions firsthand. Kelly had been going through a difficult divorce and was visiting Maya one weekend, feeling completely overwhelmed. Without any prompting from Maya, Luna had jumped onto the couch and positioned herself directly against Kelly's chest, producing that intense healing purr that Maya knew so well. Kelly sat there with tears streaming down her face, but instead of the desperate crying she had been doing for weeks, these were tears of relief and comfort. "I can actually feel my heartbeat slowing down," Kelly whispered, amazed. "It's like she's literally purring my anxiety away. How does she know exactly what I need?" Maya had wondered the same thing countless times. Luna seemed to possess an almost supernatural ability to diagnose emotional and physical problems that Maya sometimes didn't even realize she had. There were days when Maya thought she felt fine, but Luna would insist on an extended purring session, and only later would Maya realize she had been carrying stress or tension she hadn't acknowledged. The most remarkable example happened on a Tuesday morning when Maya woke up feeling completely normal. Luna, however, seemed unusually insistent about their morning routine. Instead of her usual gentle wake-up purr, Luna was producing the intense healing purr and wouldn't let Maya get out of bed. Maya tried to move, but Luna would reposition herself and increase the volume of her purring. Maya almost called in late to work, but something in Luna's behavior made her pause. Her little cat was clearly trying to tell her something important. Maya decided to trust Luna's instincts and spent an extra 30 minutes in bed, while Luna purred against various parts of her body with unusual determination. Later that morning, Maya started feeling symptoms of what turned out to be the flu that was going around her office. By afternoon, several of her coworkers were going homesick, but Maya felt fine. She was convinced that Luna had somehow detected the illness before Maya's immune system even knew it was under attack, and had given her an extra dose of healing vibrations to help fight it off. Maya had started thinking of Luna not as her pet, but as her closest friend and healing partner. Their communication had become so sophisticated that they barely needed the usual human-pet interactions anymore. Maya didn't have to call Luna or use treats to get her attention. Luna just appeared whenever Maya needed her, as if they were connected by some invisible thread of understanding. The depth of their bond became most apparent during Maya's most challenging moments. When Maya's grandmother passed away and she was struggling with grief, Luna seemed to understand that this was different from regular stress or anxiety. Luna's response was to provide constant, gentle purring for days, never leaving Maya's side, offering the kind of steady comfort that even Maya's closest human friends couldn't provide. Luna would position herself wherever Maya was, against her back while she cried in bed, across her lap while she sat staring out the window, pressed against her chest while she tried to fall asleep. The purring during this time was different too, softer, more continuous, like a lullaby designed to help Maya process her emotions without becoming overwhelmed by them. Maya realized that Luna had taught her things about love and connection that no human relationship had ever shown her. This was love without conditions, without expectations, without the complications that usually came with caring deeply about someone. Luna asked for nothing except the opportunity to provide healing and comfort. In return, she received Maya's complete trust and gratitude. People often asked Maya if she would ever get another cat, thinking that Luna might enjoy a companion. But Maya knew that what she and Luna had was unique and complete. Luna wasn't just any cat. She was Maya's specific healing partner, chosen by some force that Maya didn't fully understand, but had learned to trust completely. As Maya sat on her couch that evening, with Luna pressed against her side producing that familiar, comforting purr, she reflected on how dramatically her life had changed. The stressed, anxious person she used to be felt like a completely different person. Luna had healed more than just Maya's daily stress. She had healed Maya's relationship with herself and with the world. Maya closed her eyes and listened to Luna's purring, feeling grateful for the storm that had brought them together and for every single day since then. This was love in its purest form, healing in its most natural state, and the most perfect partnership Maya could have ever imagined.